Market update here on the 8th. So we did come down a little bit lower to 396, but we ended up bouncing, finishing around 399, pretty much as expected. The options chain was showing 398 had a lot of puts, and 399 had more calls, so we finished pretty much at max pain. And I'm still long. I sold more puts at 397 to add on to the 2 from yesterday, and I also am long SPXL in another account. And I just see this as now WX. Before I thought that maybe we'd have a chance to come up here and then go lower, but I think this is more likely just a WX. Usually the B wave would have to be longer, but I think based on how long this took, we can melt up all the way into OPEX around the 17th and potentially hit this supply zone right here. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, easier to see. We get this long candle, and right before that, right here around 410.14, if we draw a parallel line, it actually goes to it pretty much perfectly. So this would be A, then we have A, B, C, W, we get ABCX, and then we should, if this plays out, it should be something like this. And if you look on lower time frames, it looks like we're at the beginning of a 5-wave move. But again, we'll have to see if that plays out or not. There's a lot of supply zones around in this area, like this one right here. So we got to get through a lot of resistance, but that would be my target if we do that up to 410 supply zone. So it'll probably be pretty choppy at the very beginning, and maybe we'll get an explosive third wave up here. So if this plays out, then we'd be looking at the overall move as something like that. We can draw a parallel line over here. So let's say we go to, let's see where this is at actually. So we went to 393.69. This W wave is at 407.37. So about, let's see, yeah, 393 minus, yeah, we're looking around like 410, 411, something like that. So then we'd be looking at probably like 385, which is right down here into the dreaded end of December chop. So that's the most likely scenario in my opinion. Again, I'm long, and I don't see, I think people are they're not committing suicide, but they're sabotaging themselves. They don't know supply demand. If you're in a demand zone, do you want to be shorting? You don't want to be shorting. Yeah, it could drop through here, but it's more likely it's going to bounce out of here. And so I'm long for that reason. We'll see if we get up to here, but that would be my most likely scenario in my opinion, based on what we've seen so far. And as far as timing goes, let's say we come up here on the 17th. We're looking at something around probably April OPEX, or maybe a little bit sooner to get down to 385. And that's kind of what my base case was for a while. So we'll see if that plays out. The whole thing would look like that. So the dollar hit supply and it's bouncing or going lower. So this also plays into SPY melting up. We hit supply. We should get a nice bounce down here. I would expect this to be an ABC move lower based on what I just showed you on SPY. Something like this. I don't know where it's going to. And then we should get one more move higher for it to get down to 385. And I don't know the next demand zone, but when we get there, we can look at it more in depth. So this would actually just end up being more than likely this is just A or W, back off, and then go higher when we go down to 385. And then after that, we should melt up. I have NVIDIA pulled up here. I haven't been following it that much, but I know a lot of people do follow it because they're short. And I've said a few different times that I think this has potential to go higher. And people, think I'm an idiot for that. But if you look at the weekly time frame, you can just look and see that there's a supply zone up here at 251. And then you have this move looks like, to me, it looks like this. So this could end up being the top right here. This is a 5-wave move, or it's only wave 1 of the 5th wave. We pull back here, and then we get a third up here, 4th, 5th, right into the supply zone. So NVIDIA might not be done. We'll have to see. QQQ never hit the supply zone or demand zone, which is fine. I think it will eventually, but again, this is most likely the same thing. It's most likely going to come up here higher. I would be looking for, let's see what the top was. So 313. Somewhere around like 308, which is, again, is right into supply, the very top of the supply zone though. So maybe it doesn't get that high, but same setup as SPY in my opinion. So the whole thing would look like that. And then we would come down here. If you go to 308, we'd be looking for 285 maybe on the fall down here, and then we'd melt up. So I am not playing this right now, but I might if I get a second wave pullback, and that would probably be where I enter at. So if this is a 5-wave move, I'd probably, even though we're outside of demand, I might try to play the pullback for a second wave, like I used to do just on Elliott wave only. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's go over Apple and Amazon. Apple. The only weird one is Apple, because it came all the way up here to the very top. So, and it did hit the demand zone right here. If we go on lower time frames, could very well be a second wave here. But again, if Apple is only making a first wave right here, then it might have already started the melt up. And we could see all the way up here to like 177. Doesn't make any sense along with the other charts. So maybe Apple will come down farther against the trend of SPY. I'm not 100% sure on this one, but it does look like it probably already started it. Or this is just A, this is B, and we're going to get an expanded flat. We could be looking at an expanded flat if this is the bottom right here, where it could go to like 159 maybe. Let me see. Yeah, like 160 or so, and then sell off. So I think that Apple is a pretty good long here, even though it's outside of demand. We'll see what happens tomorrow though. Amazon. Same thing as all the other charts. This could be A, pullback, B, C wave higher to this supply zone at 99. So that's pretty much it. I just want to do a quick video. That's what I see is most likely is SPY melting up here to 410. But again, we can readjust if something else happens. It's currently outside the demand zone now. And so I'm pretty bullish. It's too close to the demand for me to be bearish here. We'll see what happens tomorrow, though. That's pretty much it. If you have any tickers you want me to do, leave them in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button, and as always, subscribe as well. Try to get more subscribers so I can keep on doing these videos, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.